you guys. I'm excited to be here. Like I said, my name's Aubree Deimler, so I am an author and a speaker and a health coach, and I do support women with endometriosis manage pain through natural methods. So think diet, lifestyle, and mindful thinking. So intention with this presentation tonight is to help you naturally calm the endometriosis in your body. So I'm going to share with you 6 tips to help decrease inflammation, and along the way I'm going to educate you on how the different systems of your body work so that you have a better understanding of why I'm suggesting these things. So I'm going to share tonight our lifestyle changes that will require your focus and intention. So I hope that the information that I share with you tonight will help bring awareness to the choices that you make each day and how those really impact your well-being. And I hope that it inspires you to choose wisely. So before it's good to set your personal intention. So I found that for me, it's easier to keep the intentions that I set when I connect with this key question. How do I want to feel? So mind as you move forward and use that intention as motivation. And remember that you deserve to feel good. A bit of information with you tonight, and for some of you that may feel overwhelming. So I encourage you to take it all in and then figure out what step that you can take this week in a positive direction. So that feeling better comes from a bunch of small steps that you take every day. And over time, those steps can add up to transformation. Put together a free download with all 6 tips for future reference. I'll share that link with you if you stick around to the end. The tips, I'd like to share just a little bit of my story with you. So I've suffered with extremely painful periods from the very beginning, and I complained about them for years to my doctors, and I was told over and over again that it was normal to have cramps with your period. I was prescribed a high dose of ibuprofen and pretty much sent on my way. Except ibuprofen didn't touch the pain. When I got on the pill, which I continued to take for the next decade, that did help with the pain that I was having with my period, but it came with other side effects. I started to have digestive issues, I was bloated and suffered with awful, embarrassing gas and stomach pains. Struggled with migraines and constant fatigue. So I got a headache just about every day. And I had crazy mood swings that I can only describe as out of body. That had these explosions of anger, and I struggled with bouts of really deep depression. To stop taking birth control late in my 20s, I started to question the impacts it was having on my mental health, and I wanted to see how I would do without it. Decision really awakened me to a whole new kind of pain. My periods became excruciating again, and as the time passed, that pain expanded to a point where I was pretty much suffering every day. I was exhausted, I was bleeding regularly, and I had awful pain after sex. And I also had bladder pain. It was pretty miserable, as I'm sure many of you can relate. Days of work every month when my period started, and it was actually a coworker who noticed, and she was the first one to tell me about endometriosis. One of her friends had it, and she thought that I could have it too. Since I had never heard of endometriosis, I started learning more about it and connected with other endo sisters in support groups online. I took in the stories of these other ladies, my eyes really opened. I finally felt like all that pain I'd experienced was validated. This was a real thing. So So I asked my gynecologist about it, and she agreed that it was a possibility. I found a recommended surgeon and was officially diagnosed in 2011, and I'm 29 years old. To have the pain validated, but I was really overwhelmed with it all. The guidance that I received from my doctors was limited to hormones and pills and costly surgeries. And I'd been down that road, and I didn't want to continue that way. I married, and suddenly I was questioning my body's ability to have a child, and it was all so devastating. It led me to a pretty dark place. It was what I needed to do to get better. Help from a naturopath, and she told me that she couldn't help me. Endometriosis is too complicated, she said. Complicated, but there has to be another way. So as a researcher and forever student, I began to absorb as much as I could about health and wellness. I became fascinated by the workings of the human body and its ability to heal itself. I'm grateful for other ladies who shared their success stories online of dealing with endometriosis in a holistic way. Had it not been for these other ladies, I am not sure where I would be today. They really gave me hope and paved the way for this alternative path for me. I just saw in there that the audio is working. Can you hear me? Can you see me, Erin?
It's just one participant was having trouble connecting. I think he's on a cell phone. So
Okay.
it was something on my end. I had to enable his audio, but it worked out. It's fine.
Okay, awesome. Just making sure. I'm drawn to these alternative teachings in Ayurveda, in traditional Chinese medicine, in integrative and functional medicine, because they addressed this idea of whole healing. So the primary symptom of endometriosis is painful periods. I knew that it encompassed so much more than that. It's really a systemic condition and needs to be addressed that way. Body, mind, and soul as a whole intertwined unit, and I started taking steps to support that. To try anything to feel better, and I tried many things, diet and supplements and cleansing, and I did start to feel better. While I was in pain with my periods, that daily chronic pain decreased, and started to feel better mentally too. So in a way, I started to share my research and experiences on my blog at peacewithendo.com, and that helped me to connect with Endo sisters around the world, and became a witness to so many other ladies who were struggling, and I wanted to help more. So that made the decision to go to school at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition to become a health coach. At IIN was life-changing, primarily because it expanded my idea of health and wellness, so that it wasn't limited to just what I was eating or what supplements I was taking. It encompassed so much more. About this idea of what are called primary and secondary foods. So secondary foods come on your plate, while primary foods include everything that feeds and nourishes your life that doesn't come on a plate. So that includes things like your job or your finances, your relationships, exercise, spirituality, creativity, etc. We're going to touch a little bit on some of that stuff tonight. Say that the food that you put into your mouth doesn't matter. It does. And if you're new to all of this, it's a really great place to start. So that's where we're going to start tonight. Food that you put into your body plays such a big role in how you feel, both mentally and physically. And it also plays a key role in the levels of inflammation in your body. There's to the saying, you are what you eat. Your body, your organs are constantly regenerating themselves and do so with the fuel that you provided. And I encourage you to choose wisely. Try to eat foods as close as you can to their natural form. Mother Nature provides you with exactly what your body needs to thrive on. So my tip to help naturally calm endo is to focus on adding in fruits and vegetables to every meal of the day. Try to eat a rainbow of colors every day to ensure you're getting a wide variety of vitamins and minerals. Inflammatory choices include things like berries, especially blueberries, leafy greens, celery, cilantro, cucumbers, beets, carrots, and if you can tolerate cruciferous vegetables, things like broccoli and kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, then add those in too. These are a component that helps to break down bad estrogens in your liver. They're a great choice for those of us with endometriosis. Now you agree with all the fruits and veggies out there, so experiment and figure out which ones do serve you. Pay attention to how you feel after you eat them. Add in these fruits and veggies, try and crowd out inflammatory foods that don't serve your body. Things like fried foods and processed foods with lots of refined sugar and corn syrup, and avoid food additives, so things like coloring or sulfites, MSG. All of those can trigger a flare-up. And can show up as different things. So here's some different names for it. And the one that really gets me that I see often is natural flavoring. That's language for MSG. If you don't remember all of this at first, the key is really to become aware. Pay attention to what's in your food and how you feel after you eat it. And it does cause a flare-up. It could be because of a hidden ingredient like this. So to stay away from anything that you can't pronounce, or if there's a ton of ingredients in something, that's likely not going to serve your body well. To pay attention to when it comes to diet is your blood sugar. Blood is a big deal. When balanced, then we feel balanced. Our moods are stable, our energy levels are steady. When your blood sugar is balanced, then you have a better chance at balancing your other sex hormones. So when your radically rises and falls, this impacts your sleep, your mood, and your energy. It has to do with the stress hormone cortisol, which rises when your blood sugar rises. One of cortisol's main jobs is to help balance out your blood sugar. If you're eating simple carbs and sugar, then your blood sugar levels rise. Again, since cortisol is responsible for maintaining your blood sugar, that means that your cortisol levels are going to rise as well, which is for a stressful situation in your body. You may feel good at first while you're experiencing that sugar high, but what goes up must come down. So that high is followed by a crash and an energy drop. On how to eat to help balance your blood sugar, it's really all about eating the right kind and quantities of carbohydrates in order to balance your blood sugar while feeding your brain. So it's very individual. Help to keep your blood sugar in balance is to include healthy fats, proteins with your meals, especially in the morning time and for lunch. So these fats and protein are going to be longer sources of energy, so they help to balance out those highs and lows. Anything that's too high in sugar, so in like fruit is good, but try and avoid like processed white flours, white sugars, and corn syrup. And it's important not to skip meals. And for many, it's helpful to eat every few hours. Point where you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy or irritable, or what's commonly referred to as hangry, right? I know I get this way. These are signs that your blood sugar is low and your body needs fuel. A little bit about food. Let's dig a little deeper into why it's important. And the tip number 2, which is to strengthen your digestion. If you strengthen your digestive tract, then you're going to be on your way to feeling better, both physically and mentally. When your digestion is strong, then you're going to absorb the vitamins and minerals from your food, you get healthy tissues, and you're going to efficiently eliminate waste from your body. When digestion is strong, you're likely to experience bloating and gas or constipation. And 80% of your immune system is located in the lining of your gut, and your microbiome in your intestines plays such a key role in all of this. So a big reason why it's important to strengthen this system, to support your body's overall ability to heal. Some ways to do that. Again, to your food choices. Your food choices play a big role in the amount of inflammation in your gut. So inflammatory reactions involve the release of chemicals and cause some irritation and swelling inside of you. And a good situation for those of us with endometriosis. If these inflammatory processes go on for too long or get out of control, then these high levels of inflammatory chemicals interfere with the functioning of your cells and can cause tissue damage. And remember that everything's so close together inside. Gut and all your reproductive organs, everything's so close. If you've got inflammation with your gut, it's impacting so much in that area. Inserts may be causing inflammatory reactions in your body. This is why it's important to figure out which foods are best for your individual biochemistry. Common foods that can cause sensitivity are going to be gluten, dairy, soy, and corn. Now, it is found in wheat and rye and barley. The way to see if you've got a food sensitivity is to cut out the food from your diet for at least 3 weeks. And when you're ready to test to see if that food is causing a reaction, then reintroduce the food back in multiple times on your testing day. See how your body reacts. Pay attention. So you're going to realize that you're feeling bad from a food until you remove it from your body. Time away from the irritating food allows your immune system to calm down, so that reaction is going to be more noticeable when you introduce the food back in. It's not always going to be digestive issues that you experience. For when I eat, say, gluten, I get like a foggy head or a headache or fatigue. When I eat dairy, I get like sinus type issues and headache. So it's not always going to be digestive issues, but that's also common as well. So just your feeling after you're eating those foods when you reintroduce them back in. You figure out which ones are causing reactions in your body, make sure that you remove them from your diet. That's going to help you to feel better and really lay the groundwork for a stronger immune system to ward off the impacts of endometriosis. Able to reintroduce those foods back in the future if you strengthen your digestion. So best ways to do this is by strengthening your stomach acid. Stomach acid or hydrochloric acid, or HCl for short, is your body's first defense against viruses and pathogens and parasites. If you don't have enough of it, your body's not going to absorb those vitamins and minerals, things like selenium and zinc, which are really key factors for the functioning of your immune system. If you have low stomach acid, then that food that you eat, it's down into your gut, undigested, and essentially it's going to get stuck. So undigested food is sitting there and it starts to rot, and it releases an ammonia gas. And that causes a slew of other issues, things like digestive distress, chronic fatigue, and illness. So if you have stomach acid, you're going to feel bloated or gassy after you eat, especially if you're eating a heavier animal protein. And see undigested food in your stool. So the pressure behind low stomach acid is adrenaline. You keep in mind as you're eating. If you're feeling stressed out, or you're anxious, or you're in a rush, then that's going to stimulate adrenaline from your adrenal glands. That's decrease your stomach acid, and it makes it harder for your body to digest the food that you're eating. So try to eat when you're calm, when you're undistracted, and sitting down. So and your brain are very much connected. Have you, when you're feeling nervous or fearful or anxious, that you feel that in your stomach? Those gut feelings are associated with what's called vagus nerve. So this is a long nerve that extends and connects your brain and your gut. And the nerve has multiple branches that touch on many major organs along the way. So the nerve is the prime component of your parasympathetic nervous system, which is a part of your nervous system that regulates your rest and digest mechanisms. It's a healing part of your nervous system. It's another reason why the food that you're eating is also going to impact how you feel mentally. It's estimated that 90% of your body's serotonin is made in your gut. Serotonin is your feel-good hormone. Further evidence that what you're eating is going to impact how you feel mentally. So into that. Yourself after you eat. That's really a step to figuring out if something is triggering pain, either physically or mentally. And your food. If you shovel the food in without chewing, it's going to be harder for your body to break it down, especially if you have low stomach acid. So if that digested food goes down into your gut, again, it's more likely to get stuck, and it's going to cause digestive distress. So I continue to work on slow down, relax while you're eating, somewhat away from the distractions, from your phone, the TV, the internet, whatever it is, and really pay attention to your food. Chew. So I started to drink fresh, organic celery juice in the morning. So I'm doing this after reading the book Medical Medium, which is awesome, by the way. I highly recommend that one. I'm doing this because celery aids your digestion in a big way. Straight up, organic celery juice can help rebuild your stomach's supply of hydrochloric acid and strengthen your digestive system. All you do is juice one bunch of celery in the morning on a stomach. And since conventionally grown celery is really covered in pesticides, it's a good idea to use organic celery. So inflammatory properties, it's super alkaline, so it's like a shot of oxygen to your cells. purifies your bloodstream, it flushes out toxins, and has a near perfect balance of electrolytes. So it's really great for your adrenal glands and for decreasing stress in your body. It's to balance out your blood sugar, which is a big deal for hormone balance. A glass of water with a slice of lemon, which helps to get kind of your liver and your bowels moving in the morning. And then I've been following that with a 10 to 16 ounce glass of fresh organic celery juice. My husband's been doing this with me since he's got digestive issues as well. And after a couple of months, we can both attest to the benefits of this. The celery juice has helped me feel so much better. I'm feeling more balanced in the morning. My bowels have been regular. I've had less pain in my joints, in my muscles, and in the parts of me that were getting flared up by endo. So no symptoms leading up to my period. Pain with my period has been mild, which has been awesome. So on to tip number 3, which is to cultivate a toxin-free environment. So sometimes I start to feel really overwhelmed when I think about all the toxicity in the world around us. It's really a constant battle to try and avoid the chemicals and poisons in our food, in the products that are offered for sale, in the air that we breathe, the water we bathe in. All of those toxins gather in your body and can cause stress and inflammation. Those toxins really impact your endocrine system, specifically your adrenals and your thyroid. Your thyroid is super sensitive to toxins. So tax your liver, which is the most important organ in your body for the removal of these toxins. So the liver is stopped up. It's going to cause hormones like estrogen to build up in your body. So the liver is also going to be very much tied to your brain and your emotional health. So your liver gets blocked up, you may feel angry, or you may feel sad. Being aware of all these toxins in the environment, I realize we're not going to be able to control all interactions with them, but we can do our best with what we consume individually. So products in your home is really a great place to start. So read labels on your cleaning products, your makeup products, your hair products, really everything that comes in contact with your skin. You know what's inside. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. Yet it's easy to overlook what you're absorbing through it on a daily basis. All those chemicals could be collecting in your body, in your organs, causing toxic, stressful imbalances. The area to pay attention to are your cosmetic products, like what you put on your skin, that you're using in the shower and on your hands, shaving cream, your shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, lotion, including suntan lotion, your makeup, etc. These contain what are called parabens. These are chemical disruptors that are known to mimic estrogen, so that endo-feeding estrogen. And pretty easy to spot in the ingredients list on most beauty products since they end in that word, paraben. There are parabens in everything. Once you mention this, most natural products use paraben-free on the label, so pay attention and make the switch in small doses. Read your labels. Really like the food that you're putting in your body. If you can't pronounce something or know what it is, it's likely not going to serve your body well. And if you can go back to nature, that's the answer is. Like your food, try and bring your products and what comes in contact with your skin as close as you can back to their original source from Mother Nature. Natural options out there. One of my favorite spots for natural beauty products, 100%pure.com. So found in the pesticides that are sprayed on our foods. So it's good to eat organic. But understand that you can't always afford to buy everything organic. Another place to check is the Environmental Working Group's reports. So here they're testing produce to see which ones are dirty and which ones are cleaner, which ones have less pesticides on them. So if you kind of stick towards more of the cleaner options, that have to buy those organic. And the latest report on their website is at ewg.org. Eating meat, then quality really counts. So look for organic, grass-fed, pasture-raised on the label. Look for local companies and really avoid those mainstream brands that are likely raised in dirty, inhumane ways, pumped up with hormones and antibiotics. All of that really makes for an inflammatory reaction in your body. To pay attention to are going to be your menstrual products. So most conventional menstrual products are bleached with chlorine, and a byproduct of that is dioxin, which is a chemical that has been linked to an increased risk of endometriosis. So think about it, menstrual products are designed to absorb. So it means when they are created that they're also absorbing all those toxins. And menstrual products out there, I like a product called NatraCare. They make their products from organic cotton, but options like the menstrual cup, that's not something I've tried personally, but I know a lot of ladies who've had success with that. So try about this, really do what you can. It's all about kind of being aware and do what you can. Right into the next tip, which is to manage stress. So I ask my clients if they're stressed. The answer is no, even though the obvious answer to me is yes, you are. So I think we can become conditioned to live in this constantly stressed out state and not even notice it. So you're feeling okay, you might feel like you're not stressed, but your internal body could be telling a different story. Stress causes silent inflammatory symptoms. So all goes back to that master hormone, cortisol, which is produced by your adrenal glands, and it's commonly known as the stress hormone. So when cortisol comes into play, all others subside. The production of cortisol is meant for survival. So it's during stressful situations with the intention of keeping you alert and ready to take action. Interprets a stressful event as a threat or emergency. It's going to trigger your sympathetic nervous system. Response is often referred to as fight or flight. So your body is flooded with hormones like cortisol and adrenaline from your adrenal glands. And those hormones are going to heighten your senses, increase your heart rate and your blood sugar and your blood pressure. It's going to slow down your digestion, and it suppresses your immune system. So response is a built-in survival mechanism, which is useful when your body is actually in an emergency situation. So cortisol helps to sharpen your focus, and it helps you to move quickly to deal with demands. But even if an emergency exists entirely in your imagination, or the threat is only your feelings, it can still trigger that fight or flight stress response. Key for the actions is there's an on and an off switch. So stress response turns on for an emergency, and then it turns off when it's over. And whenever your brain should respond and turn off the stress signal. is designed to be able to deal with these challenges. You're not designed to live in that permanent emergency mode. Stop the cycle. You must take control of that off switch and challenge how your body responds to stress. Then that off switch eventually is going to stop working. Your brain ignores the signal. So your cortisol levels are then going to remain high. Your adrenals then get overstressed, and your body's not able to correct itself. Parasympathetic nervous system, or your PNS, which we talked about a little bit already, that's responsible for physical relaxation and emotional calming. The system you're going to want to activate to feel and stop that stress response. That's what's going to trigger that off switch. So when your stress is in play, you're able to bring your body back to a state of balance. It allows you to remain calm and centered. So the key to your PNS is your breath. With inhalation, your breath is shifting to this parasympathetic activation. The nervous system to go from an aroused state to a relaxed state. Second, and take some long, deep breaths. So go and put your hand on your belly and take a long breath in. Expand your belly outwards, like you're blowing up a balloon. Out, imagine that the balloon is deflating. Try and really let things go on that out breath, nice and slow. Deep in. In. Out. Belly breathing is a great way to instantly kick in your PNS and send a wave of calm through your body. You feel stressful or overwhelming or out of control, pause and breathe. If you're feeling pain, take some, it really helps. That your mind plays a role in all of this. Your body is going to react physiologically to stressful thoughts, especially when those thoughts turn into beliefs. Mind can help you to take better care of yourself. It's really about perception. When you think from a different angle, you allow your attitudes and your beliefs to change. Stress and tension begin to diminish. That helps me when I'm feeling super stressed or overwhelmed is coming back to the present moment. Most of the thoughts in your head come from things that happened past or stress over the future. When you get to the present moment, many times that's enough to calm the stress. Tip number 5, which is to support deep sleep. So sleep is a big deal when it comes to calming endo. Sleep allows your body to access the rest and repair part of your parasympathetic nervous system. When you sleep or you're not sleeping enough in general, then your body is impacted. If you're less than 7 hours, then you're likely going to have sleep deprivation symptoms. You may feel depressed or irritable, have poor judgment, or you're going to feel out of it. So mishaps and accidents are more likely to happen. I most definitely experience these effects when I don't sleep enough. I could easily just fly off the handle about something or start crying out of nowhere. Sleep deprivation is for real. That feeling energized and refreshed, getting quality deep sleep is essential. If you're not getting enough sleep, then your body's constantly trying to catch up. And that's cascade into a slew of health issues, and it really disrupts your body's natural healing mechanisms. So what improves sleep? A big part of that is getting back in balance with your body's natural circadian rhythms. It goes back to two primary hormones that impact your sleep, cortisol and melatonin. So when these hormone levels are off, then big reactions are happening in your body, and that's going to impact your sleep. So circadian rhythms, your cortisol levels should be high in the morning. That's going to provide you energy to get through the day, and the cortisol levels should gradually decrease during the day until reaching the lowest levels in the late evening when you're to go to sleep. So component to these natural rhythms is light. Light signals the hypothalamus in your brain and corresponding organs and to up. Light, especially sunlight, causes your body to produce optimal levels of daytime hormones. It's going to regulate your biological clock. So the innate pattern has been disrupted with the introduction of artificial lighting and the many technological devices that are all around us. We sleep later and we're more electronically stimulated than ever before. To say, our natural rhythms have been thrown off. So if you have little light exposure during the day and too much light exposure in the night, then it's impacting your body's natural rhythms, and it's going to impact your sleep. And that's impacted by this light exposure is melatonin. So melatonin is what's responsible for sending signals to your body to get optimal sleep. And it's going to be secreted as it gets darker outside. So if you're constantly surrounded by light, that's messing up your body's natural signals. So more sunlight exposure during the day and less light exposure late at night, then you really picked up on a vital pattern to improving your sleep. Circadian rhythms are going to be most responsive to sunlight in the early morning hours, so like before 8:30 a.m. Habit, step outside, get sunlight exposure early in your day. Even cloudy outside, the sun's rays are still going to make their way through and influence your hormone function. And also at the same time, and getting up at the same time sends a powerful message to your endocrine system and plays into your body's natural rhythms. And by 10 p.m., then you're taking advantage of the most healing sleep time between 10 p.m. and midnight. Now, levels are off, either too high or too low, then sleep disturbances are likely. If cortisol levels are too high before you go to bed, then your body's going to have a hard time relaxing enough for sleep. So your mind and your body just don't want to shut off. This, we'll be paying attention to cortisol levels throughout the day. So that comes into play with managed stress levels and with the food choices that you're making during the day. So spikes in blood sugar throughout the day are going to throw off your natural rhythms and create an energy road of peaks and valleys. So if you're eating a lot of simple carbs and sugar, especially for dinner or later at night, then you're bringing those highs and lows into your sleeping environment. So when your blood sugar is imbalanced, you're more likely to wake up about the time your body should be drifting into deep sleep, which is the essential sleep for healing. And when we choose whole foods and emphasize on healthy fats, fruits, vegetables, then you're going to maintain balance with your blood sugar, your energy levels, and that's going to help your sleep. And anything before bed, give yourself at least 90 minutes. And again, avoid eating simple carbs or sugar during that time. And to help lower cortisol levels before bed is to turn off your screens at least 90 minutes before bed. So like your TV, your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, etc. These let off an artificial blue light, which triggers your body to produce cortisol, and it's going to suppress the release of melatonin. So long-term, consistent use that can mess up your natural rhythms. To unplug during that time, or if you've got extenuating circumstances and you have to be on your screens, there is a free application called Flux. You can download it at justgetflux.com, and it's an application that eliminates that blue light from your screen. What do we do in the last 90 minutes of the day if we're not on our electronics? Relax. Read a book, take a bath, do some meditation or some deep breathing, do some journaling, hang out with your family members, do something that's relaxing and not overstimulating or stressful. That'll put your body in a relaxed state for sleep. Now, from the sleep topic, let's talk a bit about caffeine. So caffeine has a powerful stimulant-like effect on your nervous system, so it's going to impact your sleep. It wakes us up, and in turn, it's going to increase cortisol levels. So if you choose to partake, make sure it's early in the day. The later in the day you have it, the more it's going to disrupt your sleep. And that you're drinking it with food, if you're having coffee, with health fats or protein, coffee can make your blood sugar spike, so it helps to eat and kind of level that out. And last, certainly not least, is to love and express yourself. So the long-term solution to calming endo is self-care. Taking time to rest and replenish. This is a necessity. Chronic is wearing. About self-care, especially if you have a superwoman type A personality. We do it all or put forth all our energy towards others, and then we have little time left for ourselves. Don't take care of yourself, and then you're really doing your health no good, and that's no good for yourself or loved ones. So all the chaos of life, it's so important to remember the most important person in your life, yourself. Disconnect from all the messes outside and reconnect inside each and every day. Set healthy intentions, keep promises to ourselves, then true healing and balance occurs. Now, I know how difficult it can be to live with an invisible illness that's so misunderstood. Often, a lot of emotional pain can get stopped up inside. And one that can help with that is to get creative. Accept the pain in whatever way feels good to you. As we are natural creators, and not taking the time to express yourself in creative ways, then much of the energy is going to get blocked up and it gathers in your pelvic space, right? That space of creativity. When you sing, put your focus on something other than pain and stress. or serve as a distraction, or deep expression of your creative center, your true self. Create as a way of carrying you away, provides a positive focus, an outlet for the pain, and a way to express yourself. It's a great way to release. I'm a huge fan of adult coloring books. And this last step of expressing yourself is doing just that. Speak up to your loved ones. Don't be of your feelings. Don't them inside. Express what you need. And find that passion is energy. It's the power that comes from focusing on what really excites you. When you have enthusiasm, you fully engage your brain and your body to build new pathways that promote health and well-being. What lights you up? Joy. Move in that direction. So that brings the final step in tonight's presentation. I hope this was helpful to you. For reference, I did gather all the steps together for you in an ebook, and you can get it at peacewithendo.com/calm. And I go deeper into a lot of this in my book, which is From Pain to Peace with Endo. This is available on most online retailers, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can order it from me direct at peacewithendo.com. And need more support in implementing the changes that I recommended tonight to help you calm out and feel better. I'd love to chat with you. You can time with me on my website at peacewithendo.com. Listening tonight, and as I finish up, I want to remind you to remember your intention. Feel. Put first. You do it.
Thank you so much, Aubree, for your presentation. It was wonderful. We're going to open it up to questions now. So the bottom corner of your screen, you'll see a Q&A box. Type in your questions there. And then I'll read them out loud, or however you want to answer them is fine.
Great.
For questions, just a reminder. Oh, we have a question. Aubree there.
So, did you end up having surgery for endo? So I did have surgery when I was diagnosed. And no, it was not excision. So I said he was supposedly a specialist. Pretty sure excision. Things got altered surgery. And if it's not excision, happened to me too.
You know, to happen with a lot of our members as well.
Yeah.
That the surgery that's just not appropriate, or the surgeon isn't necessarily qualified, and it's just
for sure.
Schizoid.
Yeah. If doing that, then you could get scar tissue building up.
Question from
and you can recommend
herbs, yeah.
In general, I mean, I'm not an herbalist, so I don't know if I have a supplement that I take. that's called Vitamin Mineral Green. Like health food stores. So it's got a variety of different herbs in there that support endo. That is good is moringa, which is B vitamins, which are good for your liver. That can supposedly help to dissolve cysts. And that one's in vitamin mineral green too. So if you're looking for something that's kind of got stuff in it, that's usually what I recommend.
I got a kind of a private question. Do you at all recommend oils of any kind? And if so, what do you recommend? Like
essential oils. So I found any essential oils that really help me. And I encourage you to be cautious with them. They are very powerful. A lot out there that are recommended for endo, like clary sage, for instance, was not good for me. So finding some of the stuff that's recommended, like doTERRA or Young Living, I just pay attention, always in moderation. So stuff can actually cause flare-ups. I've carried from the oils just because they are so. And I'm not, again, I'm not an herbalist. It can get dangerous when you're dealing with powerful stuff like that. Personal.
Thank you. Another kind of a follow-up question. Oh, you know what? We have a question here. After that, we're going to ask my question.
Oops, my screen saves on. Are there any foods you found that specifically help with constipation? That's been my biggest struggle after surgery due to scar tissue and more endo growth. So again, the celery has been helping me a ton. If you're into juicing has helped me as well because it kind of goes like straight into your bloodstream. Drinking enough water. We're feeling it. I know a lot of times we can be hydrated and not even notice it. So you're getting enough water. Make sure you're getting enough veggies. That's going to be good fiber. So fruits and veggies are all good sources of fiber. And keep out. So PETA asks, any exercise that should be avoided? I've found with endo, especially if you like the fatigue part of it, if your adrenals are tired, it's good to do kind of more lower impact stuff. So yoga is good, walking, and it's kind of all individual. So, but I found I don't do well like doing high intensity kind of running or sprinting. That's wearing for me. So it's more or less paying attention, listening to your body. Yoga and you're close like to your period. You don't want to do any like inverted poses like back bends, anything that's like going to stretch your stomach backwards. It's good endo near the time. So easy. I know there's that whole high intensity exercise thing going on, but I don't know. I've listened to your body. If exhausted afterwards, it's probably causing your body some stress.
I feel like good advice for everyone who's exercising regularly, just kind of being with what your body can handle.
Exactly. And go with your energy levels. I find like during the beginning of my cycle, and this could vary if you're on the pill or something that's manipulating your cycle, but I do better in the first half of my cycle, and then I kind of rest more when my period's coming. He says, after having a C-section 9 years later, I was told I had endo when a lap was performed. Is that possible? Well, I think the problem with endo, a lot of doctors aren't educated on it, or they don't know what they're looking for. So we had it and they missed it the first time, or maybe it developed. I had the C-section C-section. It's hard to get attracted to this tissue. I know he's having issues with that scar, with the C-section scar, with it kind of gathering there.
More questions for Aubree?
Did you have another question
there? How do I know if my cortisol is balanced? Lupita is asking.
Lupita says. So you can, if you want to test, really the best way to test cortisol is through saliva. And most doctors aren't going to do saliva, so you're going to have to find like a naturopath or a functional type doctor. So you can kind of go off your symptoms. So with the saliva test, you test like during different parts of the day. So it should be different levels in the morning, and then like before lunch, and then in the afternoon, and then before you go to bed. So the levels are like take a sample of 4 saliva tests. There's a good resource, Dr. John Lee. I don't know if you've heard of him, website offhand, but if you Google Dr. John Lee hormone tests, you can buy saliva tests online from him. So you kind of do it at home and then send it in, and they'll send the results if you can't find somebody to help you. So a naturopath or a functional doctor if you want to test. Or you can just kind of go off your symptoms. If it's flopped, a lot of times I think with endometriosis, your adrenals are going to be tired. There's a lot of stress going on in your body. So if your cortisol levels are flip-flopped, they're going to be too low in the morning. So waking up and you're not feeling refreshed, if you're feeling like foggy-headed and groggy, like really having a hard time getting going. And then you kind of had a mid-morning slump, and then like right around like 3 to 4 o'clock, you're going to feel like another like kind of slump. And right around like 5 to 6 o'clock, you get like an energy burst, or like 7 o'clock, you kind of feel better all of a sudden. Probably a sign that your cortisol levels are off. Because the time when it should be lowering is when you're starting to feel better, like, oh, I finally feel energized. And then you're supposed to be going to sleep. It's too high. It's like flip-flopped by your symptoms. And that's all I ask my clients is, how are you feeling when you're waking up? That's the best way to tell. Are you feeling refreshed? Do you ever feel refreshed? If there's something going on with your cortisol levels.
We have another question from Morgan.
Are there any foods that would cause too much stomach acid resulting in nausea? On the other end, are there any foods that would combat nausea? It's creating too much stomach acid with the nausea. You probably don't have enough. And if your liver is getting stopped up and your gallbladder, you may not do well, like if you're eating those healthy fats, if that's making you kind of feel sick. Is there any foods that help? So one thing that helps me a lot with the nausea is actually like peppermint tea. Can be helpful. Be good. Down. And I struggle a lot with the nausea kind of near my period. So if you're having a natural period, like right before your period is ready to start, one thing that triggers it, you have kind of this release of what are called prostaglandins, which come from your uterus. So your endometrium is actually it's a gland, so it's releasing these hormones. And so it's important to kind of keep things in balance. So there's glandins and there's bad. So there's anti-inflammatory and there's inflammatory ones. So the inflammatory ones that come from food are going to be things like animal products, your dairy products, nausea, especially near your period. So it's kind of, I really avoid meat kind of 3 or 4 days before my period's about to start, just to avoid that not that I can get when my period comes. So that's when it gets bad. So definitely tea. And if you're eating the dairy would be nausea. And it's more or less just paying attention to, your individual body. Everybody's going to be different. Pay attention, like what triggers that, what feel this way. Pick up on patterns.
We have time for any last-minute questions before we wrap it up for the evening. If anyone has a quick question for Aubree, we can take maybe one. So it looks like you guys have any more questions. So Aubree, I would like to thank you so much for being with us tonight and for your wonderful presentation. And you're in a different time zone than us, so thank you so much for staying up a little bit later with us. Thank you all who participated in the webinar. Thank you all for your wonderful questions and for just taking the time to view the webinar. Tonight, I really appreciate it. Again, we have been recording, so we will have the link up on our website in the next couple of days at rmccharity.org. And send an email to update all of you with the link. So let's work on that and see if I can get the link out to you all. So again, thank you so much, Aubree. Thank you.
And thank you guys for being here and listening. One.
I love that. That's so cute. All right. Well, thank you so much again, and everyone have a great evening. Get lots of rest tonight, and we will do this month. Okay. Take care.
Great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.